Hello, my name is Gwendolyn Anderson, and for my project I've selected the following primary sources. The first one is Irish Immigrants in the Land of Canaan, Letters and Memoirs from Colonial Revolutionary America from 1675 to 1815. This is by Kirby Miller, and basically the reason why I like this resource is because it tells personal stories about Irish immigrants during this time, which is 1675 to 1815. It also explains a more personal view from the Irish immigrants and the reasons why behind the immigrants were coming to America. It then discusses the struggles that they faced once they arrived. And it also explains the jobs and the roles that they were assigned. And one other area that is pretty interesting is the political side and their part in history when it comes to the political means that they helped enforce. And the second one is Slavery and Secession in America, Historical and Economical. This one's by Thomas Ellison. This is the predated 1965 resource that I found. This one was printed in 1862. This includes all the information about slavery and the state of America during 1862. It also includes the immigration and the process of moving immigrants to the South, the slave immigrants, and it's also leading up to the Civil War and how it expresses the difference between the sides, the good and the bad. The third resource that I have is The Sweetness of Freedom, Stories of Immigrants. This is by Martha Bloomfield and Stefan, I hope I'm saying this right, Ostrander. And this book is probably my most favorite because it has so many stories told by immigrants that traveled from all over the world. But there's one in particular that I want to focus on by Angeline Spradiford and her family. She shares what it's like to be pre-World War I and the struggles that occurred during World War I. And it shows, her whole family history and then her reflecting back and talking to her grandpa and grandma about the things that they went through. So I'm really excited to explore further with that one in my project. The fourth and final is My Future is in America, and it's an autobiography by Eastern European and Jewish immigrants. And this one's by Jocelyn Cohen and Daniel Sawyer. And this is a collaboration of all of the Eastern European immigrants that traveled to the United States. There are a couple of stories that I want to share, especially with the immigrants, and mainly there's one that explains what they've accomplished since they've come to America. So the positive aspect of going through all that they went through, and then the positive outcome of coming to America. And it also expresses the reasons why they wanted to leave their native land. So there's a give and a take. They came in for a reason, and they're really grateful to be here. And that also shares the struggles of trying to enter America as well, which we've all learned that wasn't always the easiest process. Anyway, so the argument that I'm making for my paper is that America would not be what it is without the contribution of each and every one of the immigrants from each and every race and cultures that set foot on the U.S. soil. So even though our journey of learning through the various times of immigration in history, there were many dark times, but there were a lot of good things that came out of it. So my project is going to be mostly focused on the uptick of immigration and the positive outcome of some of the immigrants that lived through it. So I'm going to share the struggles. I'm going to share, just the process from the beginning to the end. So in going into this class, I learned that I was not very well educated and very naive when it came to immigration. So I really thought I had an idea and most of the facts about the history of immigration. But from the beginning of our first week, I knew that I was very clouded. I had a very, very clouded view of immigration and the history of immigration. So I believe now that America was created by all of the history and experiences that the immigrants went through. And when the idea of America first came into sight, there was a battle more over territory than people. Who had the most land, who had the most money, who had the biggest colony, who had the best weapons, who could, take over. So then it switched to who had the most slaves, so who owned the most property. They just switched different types of things that they owned. And they learned that either of these ways was not going to make America what it is. So they quickly learned that America had needs, and the needs could only be met by allowing other people into the country to contribute and to be just a contributing factor in the United States. So that's what they had to live with. That's what they had to do. Though they didn't really think it through most of the time, they did have a general idea of what they wanted to accomplish in allowing immigrants into the United States. So I look forward to watching more of the presentations, and of course, thank you for watching mine, and have a good day. Thank you.